Hey, Shalom, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai, double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and blessing to y'all, can preach the truth out the four winds. All right. Just going into a few various topics in first chapter of Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Just gathered a few scriptures out of it. Hebrews 1:1, it says, the Most High, who at sundry times, sundry means by many portions, many times, and in many ways. What happened? It says in diverse manners. Okay, in diverse manners is in many manners. What did he do? Spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. Now, in the past, like when you look at the way the Lord spoke to the fathers, when a message came forth, it was way far more complex. Okay, it was far more complex than what it is now, because you sent forth messages through people, and they made them certain ways. That it go certain on journeys, certain ways to get that message to where it needed to be. Okay, and this insinuates a speed up of time. Okay, many times, many ways, many different manners. The truth, when it was set forth in a light and in a manner of where it was very time consuming, and it was because it was time that was had. Okay, it wasn't no rush. You know what I'm saying? It was time that basically it insinuated that the end wasn't just quite yet. Okay. Now, verse 2, it says, hath in these last days spoken unto us. So, now in these last days, those same prophets and those same men that brought forth those messages, when they came by the prophets, when they came out, they were all over the place. Now, in the last days, look how things have sped up. It says, spoken to us by his son. So now, Yahweh Shai had the message, and he gave it to his men. Okay, it says, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Now, that word worlds, we're going to get into that. Okay, but first, before we get into that word worlds, we're going to get into, in these last days, he's spoken to us. 1 Corinthians 4:9, it says, for I think that the Most High has set forth his apostles last. Okay, so now, this has to be it. Okay, it says, as it were appointed to death. Okay, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and unto men. Okay, so see how they are in a stage of, it's speeding up now. Okay, it says last days. At first it was like, okay, the word was going out by different manners, the times it was going out, how it was going out, but now it's one single thing in these last days that gets that word out. Okay, this is John, Salakia, 2:3-7. It says, the same was in the beginning with the Most High. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. So this goes right into, it says, whom he hath appointed heir of all things. So Yahweh Shai, the Son, created all things. It was just the blueprint from the Father. All right. It says, the same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. So through him all men might believe, because being that he came last, and it wasn't the prophecies and not the prophecies, but the prophets, they didn't come until Yahweh Shai came. Okay, so when Yahweh Shai came, what you have is it was one person. That was him. Okay, and then the stage of everything took the way it did in the beginning, but this time, like, things would come forth and it would be in a different light. Okay, so it wouldn't be the same way. All right, so by this way, what we have is it was spread, and it was spread from him to his disciples. Now it says in the last days. So now all we have to do is click on a button and make a video. Okay, so it shows you the process of when the word first came out to where we're at in the last days, because time is picked up. All right, and this is the word worlds. This right here is a forever and unbroken age. Okay, it's a time. Okay, so it says by whom also he made the worlds. So he made a certain time for all these things to be done and put forth. Okay, what's up, bro? Okay, so all these things were put forth in a certain time frame. Okay, so by them being put forth in a certain time frame, it was certain times for many men to bring the words out in their own manner. Okay, but now it comes out in the fashion of the internet. Okay, and that's in this world. Okay, in these worlds. Okay, so it's different now. Okay, this is a time period. That's why I said worlds with an S, because it was like a bunch of different times. All right, so it says, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and the upholding all things by the word of his power, we, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. So what we have is, this is letting you know that when you see words like let me see, where is it at? Okay, it's like pronouns. There we go. It says when he had by himself purged our sins. Okay, this is another little point in here. Our sins. What's the name of this book? The book of Hebrews. Okay, so who would it be talking to? It would be talking to Hebrews. That's the topic matter here. Okay, the name of the book is Hebrews because who do you think is being written to? Okay, that's why it says purged out our sins. Okay, and sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. Look at Matthew 15:24. It says, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, and by him being sent, that's what purged our sins. That's what got us cleansed. Okay, certain men of the nation, ultimately the whole nation, but just us for now, just the chosen of the elect. You know what I'm saying? Just speaking on if I'm of that number. Okay, verse 4, it says, being made so much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. Okay, for unto which of the angels said he at any time, thou art my son? Okay, this day have I begotten thee. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he saith, let all the angels of the Most High worship him. So it's basically telling you that no angels could have done what Yahweh Shai did. Okay, it's showing a separation of everybody to Yahweh Shai. No one could have done what he did. Point blank, period. Okay? He's the special one. All right? And I wrote the word world singular, and angels in that singular world. Because when we went back up here, it showed let me see. When it said world, let me go back to it. Okay, but the point was, it says being made so much better than the angels. Okay, and again, I will be unto him a father. There it is, right there in 6. It says, and again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world. See, when we went up here, it had worlds as plural. It was an age and time. Now we're going into the word world, and it's oinkamene. So now it's a singular word world. This right here is the inhabiting earth. Okay, this is the whole planet. Okay, so he came into this whole earth that we're in, and now it's angels and messengers here, but he's better than all of them. Okay, everybody that's a messenger, no one can do what he did. Okay, all right, it says that was basically it. You know what I'm saying? No one can compare it to Yahweh Shai. Okay, because he was the first only begotten, you know what I'm saying? So he had to come into this world, and there was no angels or no man or no one that could have done the things he did. All right, he stands apart and stands alone when it comes to that. All right, and it was just to Israel, and not only that, in the different times it was, and the different the things that took place. Okay, I hope this is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honor to the Apostle Knows Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, occupants and truth out for win. Shalom.